So I'm going to save you the trouble of this video. If you're busy, don't buy Warcraft 3 Reforged. There's a lot of problems with it currently, and as it stands, it's not really the type of game that I was expecting, and I don't think a lot of other people were expecting. But let me get down to brass tacks for a second. Warcraft 3 Reforged released, and really at the end of the day, when everybody was hoping for of Warcraft 3 Reforged was a new sort of reforging, a new recreation of Warcraft 3. And from what we saw from the trailers, as well as the previous footage and the previous things that we were shown by Blizzard, it seemed like we were going to get that. In fact, I have on screen right now a situation where you have two different versions of the game being shown off. One with this close, zoomed in approach to a cutscene. The other, which is the final product, is way shittier on the right side. And you can thank this YouTuber over here for showing off this glaring detail that persists in a lot of the cinematics. So over here we can see the basic change of Warcraft 3 Reforged being just a lie, essentially. That being this quality of the cinematics being way different than what we were expecting to get. And it doesn't just end with the cinematics either. It really is a lot of different things that are on top of Warcraft 3 Reforged that make it into an inferior sort of remaster. One other thing that will very much piss off a lot of Warcraft 3 fans is the fact that Frozen Throne and Warcraft Original cannot be purchased and cannot be accessed separately to that of Warcraft 3 Reforged. You need to go into Warcraft 3 Reforged, click on Classic Mode, and then that allows you to play on the old version of Warcraft 3, quote unquote. So if you like Warcraft 3, and if you enjoy the stability that came with that game and stuff, sorry to say this, but if you did buy Warcraft 3 Reforged, you're shit out of luck. There are ways to circumvent this, but I believe that Blizzard is trying to roll into the old classic games with Warcraft 3 Reforged, which brings about different problems in of itself. One of these being custom campaigns. Custom campaigns are not able to be done in Warcraft 3 Reforged. People have tried and they have worked to an extent, but now with the change being brought over, it's going to be much harder to do custom campaigns. And that's kind of like one thing in the modding campaign and the modding scene in Warcraft 3 that was extremely huge were these humongous custom campaigns that could rival even that of the original campaigns. Speaking of those campaigns, there's a lot of bugs. And when I mean a lot of bugs, I mean a lot of bugs. This is something that has just come to be standard when any game being released, is that if you play it on release, it's probably going to be a buggy mess. And Warcraft 3 Reforged really shouldn't have been a buggy mess, but oh god it is. So I would very much caution anybody to play this if you're a fan of custom campaigns, if you're really looking forward to a remastering and changing of the cinematics to a more stellar sort of performance. And also, in addition to this, if you're a big fan of the classic games, because ultimately you're denied any of these options. Really the most damning thing for me personally when it came to Warcraft 3 Reforged is the price tag. You are getting about $40 for what is essentially an old game that beforehand cost about like maybe $15, $20 at most, maybe even less. That was Warcraft 3 Reign of Chaos and Warcraft 3 Frozen Throne. And those two games, those two classic games, allowed you access to an innumerable amount of different content that Warcraft 3 Reforged seems to lock out of the players, which is unfortunate to say the least. Now, this isn't a new idea in of itself, as 1,000 reviews on Metacritic with about a 1.9 rating for Warcraft 3 Reforged just show how much of a piece of shit this game is. And the big thing actually with this game too is that it's a $40 delayed game, but with a new graphics engine that in some ways makes the graphics look even worse than they did previously. So you're paying more for a downgrade for a video game that is old as fuck. So it doesn't really make any sense for any self-respecting fan of Warcraft to even buy or even think about buying Warcraft 3 Reforged. There's no new content for the player to get. It is really just a reskin at the end of the day. There's no new campaigns, there's no new units, there's no new factions, nothing actually. There really is nothing. It was more so just a reskin really at the end of the day. There's not even ladder options, which is a downgrade from even the classic games. They had ladder, why don't we have ladder on release? That doesn't even make sense at all whatsoever. It's extremely strange to say the least. This game that was $40 has less content than the base old game. Now, here's something else that will piss off anybody who's also a fan, and that would be the fact that Warcraft 3 Reforged, again, is going to be something that will probably sell DLCs later down the line of campaigns. Now, I definitely would feel like if I was a fan of the custom campaigns, I would have been pretty shit out of luck, honestly, all things considered. Now, compare Warcraft 3 Reforged to something like Age of Empires 2 HD and Definitive Edition, as well as Rise of Nations Extended Edition and Master Chief Collection. There is new content, and there are more content available for those people who buy those games. For example, Master Chief Collection, while it was a piece of shit on release, it is supposed to come out with about 7 or 8 different games of the Halo series. You get your purchase just right there. Same thing with Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition. In fact, Definitive Edition comes with new factions, new units, new changes to the already existing factions. Persians now have access to crossbows. There are new technologies. There's a bunch of new things added to it. Blizzard, on the other hand, though, went the extremely safe route and lazy route of not changing a single thing for Warcraft 3 Reforged, which, while yes, it's conservative, it begs the question, what really justifies the existence of this game if you're going to essentially reskin a game that we have already played, that you could download on Pirate Bay for a total of 40 minutes of your life gone down the drain? If you truly want the same game with quote-unquote new graphics, with more bugs and FPS problems, I really can't recommend anything else besides Warcraft 3 Reforged. It is truly an unfortunate circumstance, as I was hoping that this game would be developed more and more as time goes on, and more stuff would be added in. And in fact, if Warcraft 3 Reforged included Warcraft 1 Classic, Warcraft 2 Classic, and maybe had reforged editions of those games, I could see the $40 price point as being completely legitimate. But as it stands, you're paying for a game that was not broken to begin with. This wasn't like Rise of Nations where you have to basically torrent it to even play it. Same with Rise of Legends or any of those other old RTS games that have dead companies that nobody can buy them from because those companies are bankrupt. It wasn't like that. Warcraft 3 had an already established fan base, a very fanatical fan base to say the least. Why would any of them want to ever go to Warcraft 3 Reforged? And what they have done is screw them over by not allowing them to play that base game, that old Warcraft 3 classic that they are used to. Instead, they have to have a workaround to do this. And I'll put the link in the description below for the workaround. It's a little bit awkward, and it will probably be patched out after this is done. But hey, if you want to play custom campaigns and have widescreen and enjoy offline campaigns, you should probably do that. I don't think this will happen long term, but what can you do? Either way, though, while it stands to, you know, beg to question of if this game is going to be better later down the line after the bugs and fixes are introduced for the FPS and stuff, I feel like definitely a large portion will definitely come back. But to say the least, would they come back in comparison to Warcraft Classic? I don't really think so. I think, like, at the end of the day, Warcraft 3 Reforged doesn't really justify its own existence, and this is just an example of corporate greed, essentially, that they would sell us a reskin product without much in the way of anything new or substantial. It's quite unfortunate, to say the least. And if I was a big fan of Warcraft, I'd probably sell all of my Warcraft plushies, but I'm not, so I don't have to deal with that heartbreak. I do feel sad for myself, though, because I wasted $30 on it, but hey, what can you do, you know? Stay away from Warcraft 3 Reforged. There's no reason why you should get it. It's just a visual reskin of a game that didn't need a visual reskin. Really didn't. There's no other changes, no pathfinding changes, no new units. There are female units for like 2 units, that's it. There's female variants for 2 units, that's it. You have no new campaigns, no new maps. In fact, ladder isn't there, and there's no custom campaigns anymore if you wanted those mods. So what are you going to play? The buggy game or the old classic, good as new game? You know, it's really at the end of the day what you as the player really come out to. With all that being said, though, I hope you guys do at least make a calculated decision that you don't regret. If you're gonna play Warcraft 3 Reforged, I would like it if you didn't regret your purchase. And you know what? I would like that for anybody. I would like it if people were happy with the game that they put their money into. But unfortunately, it does seem like a lot of people are just heartbroken by the fact that Blizzard would promise so much and deliver nothing. Nothing at all. Just garbage. But anyway, I will see you guys next time. Maybe when they update the campaign, add in ladder and clans and fix the bugs. And maybe return everybody's money and make the game free. The game will be good. Who knows? I would personally love it if they added in Warcraft 1 or 2 for free, so that, and the Reforged version, so that maybe there's like a little bit of love from the company. But I don't know. Corporate greed is corporate greed at the end of the day. No ultra widescreen support is even given. So even the option to have the wide screens is not even a thing that you can even have. Let that be just a little bit of the memery here. The game is supposed to be the 4K beautiful version of Warcraft, and it fails even in this regard. I'll see you guys next time. Take care and enjoy.